Hello. Hello,
Good evening,
everyone.
everyone.
Uh-oh. Playback somewhere.
You can hear it? I don't hear no playback.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't hear it. Island, Miss need
Hello,
some new people
Linda.
coming.
Just waiting for a few people to come in.
High Talk with Love.
Oh, she says she up at the hospital, but she's listening. Oh, thank you for tuning in. Taking time out
But
to tune
yes,
in.
thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Talk with Love. Appreciate you.
It's playing a little. Okay. Well, I guess we can go ahead and start whenever you want to start, Dee. Because we can't wait all night or all day.
Okay. Well, the topic was of our lives was should I stay or should I go?
And basically, what
And
we're
oh, go
talking
ahead.
about is recognizing if when we're in a relationship, if we play a role in the toxicity, or is it something that we can change about ourselves? Because sometimes we need to examine ourselves and not just focus on the other.
Right. Is it something with us or is it something with our partner? Because sometimes a lot of women always think it might be the guy all the time why the relationship didn't last. But it might not be him, it could be you. So sometimes you can attract, repeatedly tracking the same guy, more than once. But you constantly saying every time you attract a guy, all the guys have the same behavior. So that tells me that it's the woman. And we have to see within ourselves what are we doing wrong? What are we saying to attract the same guy? Is it something we're saying? Is it something we're doing? And how could you change that?
Yeah, because sometimes when we're going through these situations, um, we may not take time to sit down and evaluate ourselves to see if there's a possibility that there is something that we can correct within ourselves, our own thinking, our own behaviors that could either put out the problem or help us to work our way through it for change, if there's a possibility for change.
Right. Linda said, I think in a relationship, both parties play a part. Well, not all the time. And when I say not all the time, I mean, it may not be the guy all the time, especially if a woman constantly saying, why every guy I meet is doing the same thing to me. And I'm going to give you an example. If you meet a guy and you say, wow, he just uses me for my money and what I can give him. Okay? So then you stay with this guy maybe 8, 9 months to a year. Then you back dating again and you saying the same thing about the second guy. And you just repeatedly saying the same thing about to yourself about 4 or 5 guys. So it has to be something within yourself that you have to change. It can't be the guy. It has to be you because you are acknowledging it. So therefore you do know that it is something within yourself that you need to work on and change. Because you can meet a guy and say, every time I meet a guy, that's all he wants from me is sex. Okay, you don't say this about 5 or 4 guys. So then if you know that it's something in yourself that you need to work on before dating again. That's what I'm saying.
It's like recognizing or sitting back and thinking, if I'm dating this guy and all he's asking for is my money or sex or whatever, then I meet another guy and it's the same situation, and another guy and it's the same situation. You know, sometimes we sit back and we think that it is all of the other person's issue, and we may build a blanket indictment on the opposite sex because we feel like they're all the same, but we haven't really sat down and think, is this something I can do to prevent this from happening in future relationships? Because all relationships don't have to be bad, or we don't have to say, well, okay, all females are this way or all males are this way because of what we have experienced. Because sometimes, because of our personalities or the way we approach things, sometimes we can bring things on ourselves. That's what we're trying to say. We're not trying to say that there's something wrong with you as an individual, but that we need to sit down and think, can I prevent this? Is it something that's happening, that I can do so that I won't have to face this situation again? Because when we start to love someone, sometimes we can lose ourselves and just not even think logically. We have a way of putting our whole heart into a situation and not thinking logically, which opens us up to some hurt, pain that we could have avoided, if we've kind of focused on ourselves more than that other person, so that things can work cohesively and more smooth. So that's basically what we're trying to discuss today.
Yeah, sometimes you have to get that time out for yourself. Get that time out for yourself, stand and think about it. Sometimes it can take a year. You know, sometimes we don't need to just bounce from one relationship to another relationship, because you're not going to see the things that you really need to see. You're not going to work on the things you really need to work on. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Some people can do that jump from one relationship to another one, without healing. But you have to heal, and so you can know what you want for your next relationship. You don't want to keep jumping from one relationship to another relationship.
Yeah, and if we get hurt, like, I'm gonna use myself for an example. Like when I got hurt in that relationship, my eyes were open, and instead of me jumping from, because naturally you don't want to be alone. You're going through that pain, and you're going through, a transition from having constant, um, somebody around you constantly to all of a sudden there's no one, and all of these feelings come in, and you just want to instantly try to replace what you let go. And sometimes if we don't give ourselves time to heal and to evaluate that whole situation, we can jump to the same exact thing. So we owe it
Right.
to ourselves to, sit back and heal no matter how lonely we are. And it's hard for us ladies to do that because we're wired naturally to we crave companionship.
Hmm. But you want to be happy. You want to be happy, in your relationship. So you want to sit down, and sometimes, you can write things out. You can get your notebook, get your pencil, and sit down, and write things out. What you want to better yourself in for your next relationship. And then what are you looking for in your next relationship out of a guy? It's all about boundaries. You know what I'm saying? It's all about boundaries. You know.
I mean, we don't want to stay in a relationship that's causing us, strife, grief, pain. And a lot of times we sit down. I know I did. I sat down and I wondered, should I leave? Over and over again, going through all of this pain and suffering, and being blinded because I thought, or I felt like I was in love. Um, I really didn't look at myself, and was there anything I could do to improve myself? So basically, what it boils down to is if we have, the ability to look within ourselves, um, maybe we won't have to be faced with that question: should I stay or should I go? Because 9 times out of 10, if you have to ask yourself that question, then we probably should go. But
Absolutely.
most of us, when we're in love, we don't want to go anywhere. We want to stay where we are. So, almost a tricky situation. It's double sided. Don't you think so, D? It's like double
Yeah.
sided because
Yeah.
you can, you can, you know, you can feel like, okay, well, I should go, but you don't want to go because you feel like you really love this person. And so when you think with your heart and you're like, okay, well, I love this person and I don't want to go anywhere, we don't take the time to look at ourselves because we're so stuck on that whole relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, um,
And if you have to work on yourself, that's okay. Because us as women, sometimes we have to work on ourselves. We have to, so we can know what we want in a relationship. It's okay. If you have to stay single for a while to do that, that's okay too. So when you do find somebody, your mind can be strong, your heart can be strong, you know, all of that. Your self-esteem is in order. You love yourself. All of that will be in order. Because a lot of people a lot of women don't even know who they really are. They'll be like, oh, I know who I am. No, you don't. No, you actually don't. Because if you know who you are, you wouldn't be accepting what you're accepting.
And that's the problem. When we get into situations like that, sometimes we neglect to place those boundaries, not only on that person, but with ourselves too. Um, because even though we, require or we expect certain things from the other person, we also have to place boundaries on what we would accept. Uh, you know, you just don't want to be run over like a doormat. So that boundary thing works both ways, and this also goes back to basically toxicity and being in a relationship where I don't know, D and I were just thinking about the opposite side of the situation. A lot of times when we get in these relationships, we might be talking to our girlfriends or co-workers or parents or siblings or whoever, and we keep focusing on what that person is doing. Man, this person is driving me crazy. They always laying around. They're not helping around the house. You find yourself being the one that's put the most into the relationship, and it seems like everyone we go into, that's what's happening. The same thing. It's like it's repetitive. It's happening over
but see, they
and
know
over
that.
and over again. But
if they talking about it, then they know it. So they have to do something to change it. You know what I'm saying? If you sit here and
they might not know it. They may not realize.
Some might not.
See, the thing is, they may not know that it is a pattern that they are in over and over again, because they don't understand it's coming from within them, that it's boundaries that they are allowing people to cross, versus these people are doing that to them.
Right.
But when you know better, that's when you can turn the situation around.
Right. Because sometimes as a woman, I mean, sometimes things can be right there and we know it. But it's just sometimes we don't want to accept it for what it is.
That's right. Yeah. That's absolutely correct.
And until we can accept it for what it is, these are the problems that we're going to continue to have.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to accept this. We see this. We seeing what's going on in this relationship. We know we don't like it, but we're allowing ourselves to accept it. So if you're going to talk about it, you got to do something about it.
Yep.
Hi, no more drama. Hi, Queen. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, that's right, D. When you get to the point where you realize that it's something that's going on with you, then that's time. Then that's when it's time to make a change.
A lot of times, and I'm just putting this out there. A lot of times, when you meet a guy,
let me drop the link.
Sometimes we, as women, can sometimes maybe avoid some situations. And when I say that, I mean, when you meet a guy, get to know this guy. Get to know him before you decide that you want to get intimate with this man. Because this man can have a wife. This man can have 10 kids somewhere. This man can have a girlfriend. You don't know this man. You met this man, y'all been talking for maybe 2 or 3 months, and you didn't really get to know him. So now the next thing is, you don't start sleeping with this man, you're catching feelings for this man. Then this man comes out and tells you that he's married. He's in a relationship. So now what happens? You're heartbroken because you didn't give yourself time enough to know who you was dealing with. Because sometimes when you just started sleeping with a man, it's over. He's not going to tell you too much about himself. Now
Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna
right.
be out here trying to like fish around for information. You know what I'm saying? Because he might stop calling you, he might stop texting you, whatever. So now you upset. You want to know why he stopped calling, texting. You know, y'all not doing the little things that y'all used to do. So now you got to do your detective work to find out why he's not doing the things that he was. Then come to find out this man is married. This man this man that. So now at least you heartbroken. So sometimes we can like stop a lot of pain that we cause ourselves, if I make sense.
Yeah, that's right. Um, Drama says she wanted to participate. You want me to drop the link now? You want me to wait a little bit?
I think she was driving. You can ask her if she's driving because I think she was driving.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, I
She
think she was
sure
driving,
did.
but you can.
Yeah, she said it.
Yeah, I think she's driving.
She said, I'm driving but listening.
So that's what I'm saying. So like, um, a story. Like, okay, I want to make this make sense. A person that I know said to me that she was dating this married man, and she knows that this man is married. She knows it. The husband asked her to come in and be his child's nanny, and he would pay her. And I said, sweetheart, why? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? You know this is a married man. So why would you put yourself in a predicament like this, sweetie, not knowing what's going to come? First of all, it's nothing good going to come out of this. Nothing at all. Nothing. Because it's not like you does not know this man is married. This man done told you that he's married. So now you going up in this woman's house, this married woman's house, and you're keeping her child, but you steady sleeping with her husband. So this is what I'm saying about some women. They know what they're doing. They put themselves in situations. This is a deadly situation. This is very toxic. You're walking into this woman's home ready to destroy her family. And I had to be real with her.
Yep. And in that situation, the person should know that. I mean, they shouldn't even ask that question if they should stay or should they go. That's a situation where they definitely should know. I mean, they shouldn't have got it in the first
Hi,
place.
Wilma.
Yeah, that's
Hi, Lady J.
an easy answer right there.
Right. Because first of all, you have no respect for yourself. Let's talk about that. You have no respect at all for yourself. For one, this man is a married man. There's no respect at all. For two, you don't have no respect for his wife. Because you know this man is a married man. Okay? So that's why I said sometimes as women, you can put yourself in some bad situations and you know exactly what you're doing. Now, if you don't know what's going on, that is different. But when you know what's going on and you're breaking up a happy home, no.
Yep, and I can say as a former dating a former narcissist, I know what they feel like from the receiving end. Somebody willingly coming along and deciding to, because of lust and all other types of feelings, destroying their home. So, me personally, if I know something, and because I've been through that before, that's gonna be one of my questions in the beginning.
Yeah.
And even if you tell me No, I'm gonna be honest with you. You say no to me, I'm still gonna question it. Um, People so slick, full of deception, and they just want what they want, and they don't care how they get it. And you
Right.
get yourself caught up in situations, and you have no idea. You wondering how you let yourself get there. And I mean, you hate to be an investigator when it comes to dating, but these days you gotta investigate. People don't have the integrity and the character that they had a long time ago. So
Right.
it's
Exactly.
a real rough situation out here, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is.
So
And we
for
all deserve. Every woman deserves love. We all deserve it. But some, like me, when that
for
happened to me, I gave myself time to heal. I did not want to
hmm
be with no man. I needed to find out who I was because
that's
I
right.
didn't know who I was. So I wanted to find out who I was and work on me. Because, like I said again, a lot of women and a lot of men, they don't know who they are. And I had to find me. And
Hmm.
once I did that, I was okay with myself. I was okay. And then I started working on what I want and what I was looking for and what I was going to accept and what I was not going to accept. I had to work on my boundaries
Hmm.
because every relationship have to have boundaries.
That's right. A relationship without boundaries is an unhealthy relationship.
Yes, yes,
It's very
absolutely.
unhealthy. Hmm. Sometimes you don't even realize that you need to sit back, and sometimes you don't even realize you need to heal until you get out of a situation. Because I mean, I didn't know half of what was wrong with me until I got out of it, and I'm still learning myself. I mean, I know myself more, and I know, um, and it's a shame you have to go through certain things to realize whether you're a trusting person, but you have to go through things to realize you cannot trust like that. I mean, you want to trust, but man, it's a shame what life teaches you because you want to be,
Yes.
you want to be able to trust.
Yeah, and then I was reading one girl comment. I forgot what the comment was at. Where she was saying like, it's hard to love when you've been hurt so many times.
Hmm.
No, it's not hard because you've been hurt so many times. What if you've been hurt? A lot of people say, they don't know how to love because they wasn't taught to love. Well, let's jump on that topic. I wasn't taught to love neither. Okay. But it all depends on you as a person as you grow up. You can't keep saying, my mom, my dad didn't teach me how to love, so I don't know how to love. So this is how I'm going to react the rest of my life. I'm not going to love nobody. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. No, it's who you want to be. You're an adult now. Okay. So you have to put aside what your mom and what your dad didn't teach you and say who you want to be. I wasn't taught like that neither. But I knew I wanted to be a better person and I wanted to love. And when I say love, I'm not just talking about a man. I'm saying love everybody in general in society because I want to be a better person. Okay? So you don't want to hold that over your head the rest of your life. Oh, I wasn't taught to be loved. My mom didn't teach me how to love. My dad didn't teach me how to love. You don't want to hold that over your head for the rest of your life. You want to be better and you want to love people. You want to do what your mom and your dad didn't teach you. So you can love people and move on with your life. You don't want to keep holding that in your heart because you're never going to get nowhere in life. You're never going to get nowhere in life. Well, my mom and my dad did not teach me how to love. I do not know how to love. That's no, baby. No, you got to let that go. You got to let that go. You got to let it go. because I wasn't taught neither. And I love myself and I love people. I might not love, you know, things people do, you know. I may dislike some things people say, dislike some things people do, but I'm not gonna say I hate somebody, because that's really a strong word. So, I taught myself how to love people. I taught myself because I want better for myself. I wanted better for myself. I was not gonna keep sitting here every day saying, my mom did not teach me how to love. What to do? What should I do? I was not gonna do that. No. You got to keep moving. You got to keep pushing. And sometimes, if it takes for you to go seek counseling for things like that, and that's okay too. It's nothing wrong with that. If you can't do it by yourself. Because sometimes as an adult, we can't do things on our own. Some people can do things on their own. When it came to certain situations, I couldn't do it on my own. That's why they have all these, in different places, they have help out here that you can go get help for, and they can teach you certain things. But don't sit back and, and hurt yourself by keep saying, my mom and my dad didn't teach me how to love, so I don't know how to love people. Don't do that to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Keep saying that. Work on it. And like I said, if you need help with it, it's a lot of resources out here that you can get help with. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't get help with that. I helped myself with that. I never was told, oh, I love you. I love you. No. Mm-mm. I taught myself, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just say, because I seen it one day in somebody chat, and they was talking about it. But yeah, you have to help yourself. As you get older and become an adult, you have to help yourself. You can't keep focused on what your mom and what your dad didn't do for you, what they didn't say to you. You have to move on as an adult and try to heal yourself and work on that yourself. And like I said, if you need counseling to do that, it's fine. It is okay. Don't never let someone tell you that it's not okay. It is okay if it's going to make you a better person than you are today.
Now, No More Drama said you have to learn to love. Everyone is different. Lady J can't keep using that as a crutch. My mom and my dad move on, no excuse. And that's
Thank
true.
you, Lady J. And that's what I was saying. I didn't want to use that as an excuse. I didn't want to use that. So I needed to do what I needed to do to work on that. And I did that. You can't keep using that excuse. And she is absolutely right. You cannot, because as long as you keep using that excuse, what it's gonna do? It's just gonna keep bothering you, haunting you. Just get it worked out. Get it worked out so you can be a better person. Because I know you want to be a better person.
But that statement, now what about people who do feel like that it's hard because they, been hurt so much that it's hard for them to figure out how to love. I think those people have
So
been,
what do you mean, in a relationship or with a family member? Your mom or dad? Which one we talking about?
I think it's probably period because
Okay, well, I'm gonna break it down like this. I'm not gonna put the mom and dad. I'm gonna say in a relationship, if you feel like you've been hurt so many times and it's hard to love again, that's a time for time out. That's a time for time out, and it's time for within yourself. Some work needs to be done.
Right, because it is true that it may be hard to love again.
Yeah,
but
it is. But what, like Lady J just said, don't keep using it as a crutch. You got to seek help to get up out of that. You don't want that to be in your mind and your heart heavy the rest of your life. And I understand because I've been there. That's not what I want to keep holding on to the rest of my life. That's why I seek help. I did not want to do that. I felt like after my relationship was over, I was like, oh yeah, I felt the same way. How could I love again? He did me so wrong. But that at that point, I needed help. I couldn't do that by myself. So yes, I did seek counseling for that part. But when it came to my mom and dad, I did it on my own. But
Yeah,
when it
see,
came
those
to
are
my
two.
relationship, I seek counseling for that.
Yeah, those are two totally different
So
animals.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
The
Yeah.
parent thing, you don't have to really make excuses because it's your choice, which whether you choose to use that as some form of, I don't know, hatred or uh, not being held accountable for the rest of your life. But when you are coming from that male female relationship and you feel like you can't love again, you're absolutely correct. It is time to sit back and
Yeah, it's time to take a
get
seat back, and
yourself,
it's time to, say, I
evaluate
need.
yourself,
But you got it. You One thing you have to do, you have to recognize that you need the help. You have to recognize, because I did. I had to tell myself I need help. I recognized it, and I owned up to it,
Lady J
and I
said
went
all
to seek the
parents.
help.
Lady J said all parents want us to do better than they did in all areas. Then we got another Marissa saying hello, hello Marissa.
Hi, Marissa.
Then we have no more drama. And
And no more drama.
this is what I'm talking about. It's difficult to love
Exactly, I agree
when
with
you're
you.
broken and bitter.
So on her comment, it is difficult to love when you're broken and you're bitter. So what I would say for that, that's when you deeply needs counseling. I was broken and I was bitter, and nobody couldn't tell me nothing to make me feel better. Nobody. I was saying hurtful things, mean things, evil things I wanted to do. But I know it was because I was broken and I was hurt. So what I did, I sought counseling because I did not want to be bitter. Because being bitter, baby, it's not going to get you far. You got to heal that heart. You got to. I'm telling you, I was just like that. I was bitter. I was.
Yeah,
I was very bitter.
yeah, it's very difficult because I mean that's the situation that you lose the bitterness for a while, but that brokenness can stay with you for longer than that bitterness. Um,
Yeah.
because that person literally takes your heart and literally breaks it. So that
And
counseling
then,
and
then
learning within yourself is a good thing. Um, then you got Lady J. She says first thing is to learn to love yourself again with or without anyone, and that's true.
absolutely, that's what I just
Even
said
though
before you came on.
even though it's kind of I just think it's more therapeutic to kind of rebuild and heal on your own because the other person can be more of a distraction.
And another thing, why would you want to stay bitter? Okay, because let's just talk about it. Being bitter is doing nothing but hurting you. Okay? While you're being bitter every day waking up, this person that you're being bitter towards, they done moved on with their life and they are happy. Right? And I'm telling you this because this is what I learned in counseling. Okay? So you wake up every day being bitter and it's not solving nothing. Because this person waking up happy and I moved on with their life and they're not thinking about you a bit. But you're sitting here, you're still being bitter, you're still being angry. So what, like I said, go just please heal your heart, get help.
That's
Get
right.
help. Because that's what I was doing. I was waking up every day bitter. While this person was living, wasn't thinking about me, didn't give a darn about me. I had to come to reality and open up my eyes. That's not the way I wanted to be. Because being bitter, who are you hurting? You're hurting nobody but yourself. You're still broken. And you know what? Being bitter, being angry, baby, it can take over your life. It can take over your mind. You don't want that. That's nothing that you want. You want to have a clear heart, a clear mind. You want to wake up happy. So don't beat yourself up every night, every morning, every evening to the same thing. Pray about it like I did. I got on my knees every night and asked God to help me. That's what I did because that's what I wanted. I wanted to heal, but I was scared to go get that help. And then I went out there and got it. And, after a couple of months, I started feeling better about myself. Because I was saying some harsh, mean, evil things.
Yeah, I mean, the stages that you go through. You go through that. It's like a 4 or 5 of them. I mean, you angry, you hurt, you bitter. It's a whole lot of stages you go through.
Yeah, and you don't want to wake up. You don't want to wake up like that.
The thing is, when you get to the point where I don't know, because some people don't realize that they need the counseling. Some people don't.
Yeah.
And those are the people who kind of like remain in that place of despair, anger, bitterness.
And then some people, they have been hurt in their life repeatedly. Okay? And it don't have to always be by your mom and dad. When I say repeatedly, all their life, by different individuals. Okay? So now, as they done got older, right? What they're doing now, they're taking their anger out on everybody. Because they never went and got the help that they need. Never. So they're so angry, they're so bitter, they just going off everybody. They're taking out all their problems on everybody else. But sometimes, like me, I know how to evaluate a person. I'm gonna back off because I see now. I can't have you around me because you are bitter. You're very angry about some things that happened to you over in your lifetime. I don't know what it is, but my advice to you, if I'm close to you, I would tell you, please, sweetheart, seek counseling. I don't think that these people plays a part of this. I think this been going on over a certain period of time in your life. And you never got the counseling that you need. So everybody you come in contact with, you think they're against you, they're trying to hurt you, they're trying to do this to you, but it's not really that person, it's really you, and you're not seeing that.
Let me read some of these comments. If I can find out where we are.
Okay, I think we're about no more drama.
Say can't feel. I'm going by the one I got highlighted. Lady J said can't feel being alone, and we totally agree with that because after my breakup with the narcissist, I haven't been in a relationship with a man since that with anyone since that breakup because I'm still healing myself personally. And when you initially break up, you do fear being alone because companionship, I mean, if you're used to having a companion your whole life, then all of a sudden you have no one, you feel like you have no one but yourself. It is a rough thing. But you're right, we can't fear being alone. And Let's Talk with Love look like she's speaking to Maritza. Ginger C is speaking.
Oh, hey, Ginger
everyone. C. Then we have Linda who is saying being broken can take a toll over your life. I agree with
Absolutely.
that, B. And just like you were saying a few minutes ago, sometimes the reason why we even get into these relationships is because we have been broken, like basically almost our whole life from childhood. So yeah, and
and then it pours over to your adulthood.
Exactly.
When you didn't get the proper help that your mom should have got you then because you was a young child. But when you become an adult and it pours over, you just start to going off on a daily, and everybody coming to your life, you think they're trying to hurt you, doing this and doing that. No, you are bitter about a lot of things went on in your life, and you never seek that help for it. So you start to lash out. You just lashing out every day. This is a constant thing. Every day you're lashing out,
But that's one
And
side
I
of it.
guess you're not saying, like, because like I said before, you have to recognize that you need that help. If you don't recognize you need that help, you're not going to get it. You're not. You got to tell yourself, I think I need some help. Because that's what I did. I recognized it. I told myself, and I did it.
And that's true. But you got two sides to that. You got the side where where you were talking about how some people lash out, but then you have people who came from my end of the spectrum where, yeah, I had a lot of things happen in my childhood. I mean, verbal abuse, physical abuse, from my parents or my mother or whoever. But I didn't lash out at people. I was the opposite. I would try to pour as much love on you as I could because I wanted to get that same love I was given back. So you got two type of people. You got the people that D talking about. When you get older, you lash out, and then you got the people that's quiet and humble, and they trying to throw out the love so they can get it back. But both people on both ends of the spectrum really need counseling because we still have problems with boundaries and self-respect and self-esteem and all of that. Yeah. So it can come from two ways. Now let's see what apparently No More Drama was agreeing with us. She said, I might be skipping. I think I skipped over Linda. She said exactly the other person moves on without the life. And No More Drama says exactly. And No More Drama says, pray for God to break the soul ties after a breakup. And that's a true thing. I equate soul ties with trauma bonding, especially in a narcissistic relationship. The soul tie thing is that right there is the spiritual thing. The trauma bonding is the natural thing. But they're the same, the soul, it's the same thing where, it's almost like an addiction to that person. The soul tie can be a sexual thing. The trauma bonding from the natural perspective can be like a mental thing. It's like becoming an addict to that person. They take you through so many ups and downs, highs and lows. It's almost like an addict, you gotta have or be with that person. The same thing as a soul tie. And then let's see, who is this? Lady J. She said, don't start another relationship until you truly finish with the last mental and really ready to accept a new start clearly.
And that's exactly right, Lady J.
That's
Amen.
The thing. Most
because you
people
don't want to
jump into those relationships without actually taking time to heal themselves. Exactly. Yeah. What you guys say
because
about
like
that?
you taking your old baggage into a new relationship.
That's exactly right.
And let me just say this. You can have met of your life, right? But being that you just got a relationship maybe 5, 6, 7 months ago, just using this as an example. And this guy can be the guy for you. But you're not going to know that this is the guy for you because you took your baggage into this new relationship. Everything this man have done to you in the past relationship, you bring it on to this guy.
And that's true. But it's also another side, D, and that is that sometimes you do know, but you're so stuck on what happened to you in the past that you can't accept the fact that this guy can be the love or the person that's truly meant for you. Yep. So it's
Right.
both sides. You bringing it in, and you won't even be able to see it because you got all that bitterness and anger in you, and then you can see it, but you just cannot break how you felt because you haven't given yourself time to heal. Yeah.
Back again,
Hmm.
as I say again, that comes with part of healing.
That's
Healing
right.
yourself first. Healing. I
Exactly.
don't know why for some people they're afraid to be alone. I'm never afraid to be alone. Until you tell yourself I'm not afraid to be alone. I need to work on myself. I'm going to work on myself. I want to be a better person. I want to be that queen. I want to have boundaries. You're going to find yourself back in the same situation over and over repeatedly again.
Okay. Now we're gonna go to the next comment, and that is I cannot find it, y'all. I'm sorry. Um, Let's Talk with Love was agreeing with Lady J, and then Linda saying she sees that a lot today in society. Lady J says right because you're still holding on to the past. Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what we talking about when we say we jump into it too fast without healing. I've dropped the link in case anybody want to join us. Um, but that's exactly right, D. You know, we and that alone thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, this is the first time since I was a young adult that I have ever been single. I have never been without a man in my life, ever. And so this is the first time, and I was afraid, D. I was just, I don't want to say afraid. I just didn't want to be by myself. I felt like I wasn't whole if I didn't have a companion. You know, I think that's what a lot of us fear when. That's why a lot of us stay in, stuff that we shouldn't stay in anyway, because we just don't want to be by ourselves. What you think about that, D?
Well, you are totally right, and I want to respond to Lady J. Lady J, you're absolutely right, and you talking to me because what you said, that's exactly what happened to me a
Hold on.
few
Which
years
one you
ago when I
talking
was with
about?
my kid's father. Lady J said she was using this as an example.
Oh, I was
You
gonna put
know,
that on the
like
screen right now. I'm sorry. I was gonna
okay,
get you
put it
there
on the
right after you
screen
said
because
it. There you go.
she's exactly right, and she's talking to me because that
Okay, so
happened to me.
let me read it. It says the last man say I'm working late, and you found out he was cheating. You get with the next man, and he work late every day. Go ahead, D.
Okay, when I got with my kid's father, right? He used to tell me, babe, I got to work late tonight. I'm going to do overtime. I always thought he was lying to me because the last man did lie to me. So I didn't believe him. I was so furious that he was lying to me. I used to get up and go to his job late night and leave the kids while I go to his job. Because you know why? I didn't trust him. I didn't trust him. And the last man did the same thing to me and told me that same lie. But you know what? Come to find out, that man was telling me the truth. And I didn't believe him.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to own up to it. You see how I'm owning up to it? We have to
Mm-hmm.
own up to things. We have to own up. When we see something that's wrong or we say something is wrong, we have to own up to it before we can seek that help that we need.
And then Lady J concluded that by basically agreeing with what you said. And I was thinking the same thing. The other man is working late every night. But however, you're still thinking about what the last person did. But he's working. He's really working. But because that last person did what he did, same thing you say you experienced. Um, it was real, but because we got, you know, treated in such a way where we were lied to all the time, we didn't believe the guy.
Right.
Hmm.
And you don't want to keep going through the same thing. So we have to, you know, work on ourselves. We have to work on ourselves,
Take that
with
time to
love and
stop
all of
and
that.
heal. That's right. And most of us don't give ourselves a chance to do that, D. We really don't. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm 50 now, and not that well, half a century, but there are people who've been living longer than me. But the whole point is, through the relationship I've been in, I have never given myself time to sit back and work on me. And when you sit back and work on you, D, I mean, you learn a lot about yourself. That's when you really get to know you. That's when you really do get a chance to love you. I mean, since I've been by myself, I mean, I buy what I want to buy for me. I do what I have to do for me. Instead of me thinking about the other person and what they want and the other person and what they need and loving on them and neglecting to love me. Yeah, so this is the first time in my life I ever really sat down and got a chance to know myself since I've been an adult.
Right.
And it feels pretty good. It feels good that not only that, being by yourself, I mean, you let go of all of that stress, extra stress that you got going. You can see clearly, you can think clearly because you don't have that.
Yeah.
You
Love
know.
yourself. Get up. Go out by yourself. Stop thinking you always need a man. Go out and get your hair done, your nails done. Go out shopping by yourself. This is the thing that I learned years in counseling. Like, do things for yourself. Build up your self-esteem again by doing things to make you happy. Doing things by yourself. Tell yourself, I can do this. I can do this. I love me. I'm going to do this. While you out shopping, while you out getting your nails done, your hair done, eating by yourself, you got time to think things over by yourself. You don't always have to have somebody with you to do things. Because, sometimes you have people who can get distracted by thinking or doing other things. So just get up, get yourself together. I'm going out today. I'm going out
And
to
you
eat.
know what, D? When you have people with you, it hinders the healing process.
Yes.
Yeah, because you
Yes.
need that a long time, so you can work on you. I mean, literally, it might sound lonely to a person. Say, hey, well, but what am I gonna do by myself? How can I really heal? But it really works. I mean, being
It
by
does.
yourself, it really helps. It really works. Let's go on to some more of these comments. Lady J said, exactly, we all have. I'm in a 30-year marriage, was married after high school for 6 years. Then Lady J said, yes, Lord, you're going to go in the next relationship being happy. I guess she's
Yes.
referring, when you take time to heal. And then we got no more drama. She says we should learn to trust in a relationship until they give us a reason not to trust. Relationship is built on trust. And that is
Absolutely.
exactly correct. And once that trust, we lose that trust, there's no need to go to the next one. Ain't that right, D?
Absolutely. Lady
Yeah.
J and no more drama. I love y'all comments. I really do. I really
Yeah.
do. And I appreciate y'all comments.
That's right.
Yes.
They on board with it. They know.
Yes.
They know. Yep.
And
Lady J
some women,
said
they
no
don't
more
want to hear
drama.
this.
Exactly. So true.
A lot of women don't want to hear the truth. But, I tell people, like, like one day, a person came to me about a relationship. And I tell them, listen, if you don't want me to tell you the truth, don't come to me with it because I'm going to tell you the truth about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to tell you, oh, girl, oh, boy, just go ahead and just, y'all going to be okay. No, I got to tell you the truth. Whatever you tell me, I'm going to let you know. Is it worth working out? Maybe y'all should split. Maybe y'all should get counseling. That's just how I'm going to put it. All depends on what the situation is, how you bring it to me. You know what I'm saying? But I always would prefer to say, let's get counseling. But see, one thing about that, it takes two for counseling, not one. Because if one person go to counseling and the other one don't, it's not going to work.
That's right. It got to be a joint thing, and
So it got
then
to be a joint thing.
yeah, and the other person got to also realize that you need counseling. It can't just be one person to realize it. Both have to realize and both have to want to do it. Exactly. No more drama. Say I take myself to movies and dinner, and she doesn't have anyone. You know what? No more drama. I have not gotten to that point. I haven't gotten to that point. No more drama. I haven't taken myself to the movies or dinner yet by myself. Not yet. But I guess I'll work on that soon. Then we got Nate. Hello, Nate. He joined us. He said, what up? Nephew in the house.
How you doing? Good evening. We all have things that we can work on. Men or woman. It doesn't matter. We all have something in our life that we can work on to make our life better and make it happy. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're in a relationship or whether you're not in a relationship. But if you're in a relationship and, you know, this is a constantly ongoing thing, we're arguing and y'all not getting along about this, about that, sit down and have some conversations.
I mean, if you got to argue
Don't
about
let things
everything.
get too out of control, because sometimes people in relationships, let me say this. In my relationship I had in the past, I let things get out of hand because a lot of things I didn't address. So what happens when you do that? The situation gets worse because you're not addressing it. So what happens after that? It can become violent.
Sometimes,
I think that played a part of my relationship.
Sometimes you don't even have to address it, especially if you're doing what you said, D, and that's arguing all the time. It's straight up toxic because you're gonna have arguments. If you're doing it all the time, I think.
But when I say that, I mean like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But go ahead.
Yeah, but we used to have our little arguments sometimes, but it was more things that I needed to address with him. But why I didn't address it, because see, like I said, you got to be honest. I didn't address it because I was in a situation, would he leave or would he stay? I knew in my heart I didn't want him to leave because I knew in my heart I did love him. But I knew in my heart this was a toxic relationship. So you have to be honest all across the board. Okay?
You know that's why I'm in this
predicament. Right. So I'm in this predicament saying, okay, I do love him. I don't want him to go. How do I address him? Okay? So a lot of things I never addressed, and then when I did, it became violent. So that's why I'm saying, you know, if you're in a relationship, please ever, ladies, don't let it get to that point. Don't let it get to that point like I did.
Well, see, that's what I was saying.
It got to that point. I can't blame nobody but me. I have to blame me for that part because I allow that to happen. Okay? Yeah, we have to take some type of responsibility.
That's what I meant about like if you arguing, if you seeing a whole lot of toxicity, that's when I was suggesting that you leave it alone before. I'm in agreement with you, but you leave it alone before before you get to that point where it turns violent.
But sometimes it can be hard. It can be hard.
Of course it's hard because you love the person. Yeah.
Right. And that's what happened to me. I mean, we talking about 10 years. So that was very hard for me to just do that.
Oh yeah, you and me both. Yeah. And that's why I stayed, you know, because I love them. I mean, it was toxic. Arguing every morning, the lies, the cheating, and some of our confrontations did turn violent. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That's right. Some of the but the love, D, that's the thing about it, right? When we love somebody, it's hard to go.
Yeah, it's the love, it's the gaslighting, the love bombing, the hoovering, you know, all that plays a role in it. So all of that right there, what I just said, it'll make you just stay.
That's the reason why you stay. Yeah, because you don't want to believe, that the person is who they look like to us. We want to believe or try to find the best in that person, and we end up staying in that relationship. But your situation was very rough. Very rough.
And you know what? No more drama. You're absolutely right. And that's what I did. At that point, I couldn't take no more. So I felt like, yes, it was time. It was over. It was done with. It was time for us to break this off. You know, when the police started getting involved and the court system started getting involved, it was time to break that off. And that's exactly what happened to me. I felt like it was no coming back from that. You know, it was time for us to go our own way. And that's what happened. You know, because I was just trying to fight. I was fighting hard for that relationship. And then another thing, when one person fighting for a relationship, it's not going to work anyway because it takes two people to fight for a relationship. When you're sitting there and just fighting for a relationship by yourself and he's not saying anything, he act like you doesn't even exist. What you saying doesn't matter. What you do doesn't matter. It is time to let that relationship go because it's heartbreaking. It's just going to break your heart even more because he's not paying attention to anything you're saying. Nothing.
Yeah,
So
that's the
y'all go to
stonewalling.
sleep. Yeah, it's like y'all go to sleep at
That's called
night, then you
stonewalling.
wake up in the morning, and okay, hey, good morning. You're speaking. You go his way. You go your way. It's just no, no, no. That's not what you want. I
Yeah, I
won't
did
want
it
no
too.
woman to go through that.
Yeah, I did it too. I fought and fought for it. It was a whole one-sided relationship. And I remember one morning waking up and telling him, um, I can't do this by myself. If you're not willing to work on it with me, then what am I working on? Not realizing this guy wasn't trying to work on anything anyway. But yeah, I mean, when you get tired of trying to fix it yourself, it's time to move on. I
Yeah,
mean, couldn't take it no more. Couldn't.
yeah, because he not trying to help fix it. So why to stay? Don't force yourself to stay with a man and he's showing you signs that he does not want to be with you. Please don't ever do that. Never force yourself to stay in a relationship with a man because it's not going to work. You're not going to ever be happy. He's showing you signs that he don't want to be here anymore. He done he done signed out. He signed out.
That's when you got to try to really pay attention to those red flags that you've been ignoring. Yep.
Yeah, the red flags, the things he say, the things
The
he
things he do.
do. Yeah, you
Hmm.
gotta pay attention to all of that. And sometimes we don't really see things clearly until after the relationship is completely over and y'all done split up. Then you'll start saying, oh my God,
The
this is
hindsight.
why he used to say this. This is why he used
Hmm.
to do this. Oh my God, he was lying to me about this the whole time, but he was doing
Yep.
this. You're going to start seeing things more better and clearer because you off to yourself and he's off to himself. But you're gonna feel hurt because that's how I felt. Because when I started saying things clearer, I was so hurt. Because at that point, I couldn't pinpoint it at the time.
Lady J said, my first marriage, I was so glad to get out my parents' house. Ran right out of school, not realizing that was the worst thing I could have done. That's right, because
Yeah,
you probably didn't give yourself time to get to know them. That's right.
yeah. But at least I love her comments. I love it. I love it. I love
Young,
no more drama. I love Linda's. Because
young, young and naive and marrying like that. Yeah, you really don't get to
yeah.
know that person until years later.
And you know what too? The aftermath of a relationship, when you stand and think about it, yes, that is true. That will hurt you a little more. It's the aftermath, because that's what happened to me.
Yep. It'll hurt you, but it also
It'll make you
bring you.
stronger.
Yep. Exactly.
It'll make you
It'll hurt
stronger.
you, but it'll give you that strength you need to move forward and be
Yes.
better and approach relationships, future relationships differently.
Yes.
That's the reason why I'm waiting so long, V. I don't even know. I don't know what to believe what I should believe if a guy if I entertain a guy at this point. That's why I feel like I still need to heal. I don't want to get to know somebody and I'm not giving the person a fair chance because I still have all of these negative thoughts in my mind about what happened, prior to me meeting that person. Um, Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever get back to that point, but I just take it one day at a time. You know,
Right.
Lady J
Right.
also said not getting a chance to know myself, was dating for a year and getting married right out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a
Mm-hmm.
friend to do that, Lady J. She got married at 19, and it was rough. They had a very rough relationship because when you think about it, when you're that young getting married, you still kids. Mentally, you still a child.
Yeah.
So that means you gotta grow individually, and then you gotta try to grow with someone. And I know that's hard.
Right. And like I
Hmm.
said, ladies, we all want to be happy. We all want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. But we have to know what we want.
And we
If
gotta
you
find
are
our own
hurting
happiness
from your
too.
past relationship, please work on you. It's about you right now. And that's what women should tell themselves. It's about me right now. This is about me. It's about me. I'm going to work on me. And then I can go out here and try to date again. Because I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want. I
But you
love
know what?
myself.
You know what I think, D? I think if you find your own happiness, I think it's easier to know what you want. Cause I don't even know if I knew what I wanted because I wasn't really happy with myself. I was always looking for happiness in that guy.
That's what I just said. Going back to what I say, get up and make yourself happy. Going out doing things for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Getting your hair, nails done, shopping, doing whatever. Don't look for a guy to make you happy. We all have made that mistake before in life. You know what I'm saying? We
But
we all
I
probably had
wonder,
that guy in our life to make us that we want to make us happy. We felt like we could not be happy without this man making us happy. I'm quite sure a lot of women have been that way in their lifetime. Now, will
it
I
come
say that's a good thing? No, it's not a good thing.
it all come from childhood too. Cause if you're not happy when you're a child, sometimes it's hard to figure that happiness out when you get older. You know, especially if you feel like you've
Right.
been neglected by your parents. You go out seeking that love and attention from somebody and not really even
Yeah,
knowing,
because sometimes your
you know,
childhood life it spills right over to your adult life.
shoot, your
Your mother,
childhood
your
spill
father
over to
never
your
taught
adult
you.
life. Yeah, your
Yeah.
childhood automatically spills over into your adult life. Um, I mean, oh, shoot, I can't even think of a family that's like 100% functional. You know,
Right.
most of us come from families of dysfunction, and we just carry that on almost our whole life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
Marissa say, when I want to feel good, I would do my hair. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Good. That's
Lady
good. That's
J
a
said
good
she
one.
was 18 with a child, and she was agreeing with something. I don't know what it was, but she was agreeing with something. She says, right, exactly. And
Yeah.
Maritza said, right, Erica. Oh, I'm not highlighting these things. Yeah, there's something else with this. And so we said all of that, D. And actually, everything we said in a nutshell takes us back to the topic, and that is if you incorporate a lot of the things that we talked about, we'll be able to know if we should stay or if we should go in the relationship.
Right.
And, it all
Right.
culminates to that. Um,
Right.
but I think it all boils down to the fact that healing is extremely important.
Right. And
Hmm.
like I said before, don't keep sitting here dwelling on, oh, when I was a kid, my mother did this to me. My mother did that to me. My mother didn't do this for me. My mother did this. My mother didn't. Don't do that. You want to be a better person. You want to be a better person than your mom was. So what you're going to do? You're going to keep screaming about it your entire whole life? What your parents didn't do? Or you want to get up and say, you know what? I want to be better. I want to be successful. I want to be that person. So I'm going to work on me. And maybe if I need help, I will go to counseling. If it's big enough to go to counseling, you feel you can't do it by yourself, you go and get that help. Because how you going to be better than your mom, but you just hollering and screaming every day, you know, and you impacting more negative people in your life because of what you are screaming and yelling every day and all day. You're not making the situation better. You're making it worse. Because right now, from what I see, you can get help. Because I'm not going to say and scream, oh, my mom didn't do this to me. You know, let me say, I want to be better. I'm using all this as an example now. I want to be better than my mom. You know? So I'm going to go out here and reach, and I'm going to get some help because I want to be better. And if I have children, I want to be a better mom to my children. But by you screaming and yelling every day and going out here being evil and being mean to other people, you just, all that stuff from your childhood is just spilling over to your adult life. Then when you have children, what are you doing? You're not setting a good example for your children. Your children are going to grow up and take the trace from you. And it's going to go on and on and on. So go get the help that you need before you decide to have children, so you can be in the right state of mind, you know, for your child. You don't want your child to grow up to be, you know, just like you was, or like you said your mom was, or your dad was, or your sister was. You want better. You want better.
So Marissa says, Auntie, you're so right. Get up and do something for ourselves. Lady J says, sorry, what's the lady name on the panel? You got two of us on here. You got me, Erica, and you have D. You got Blessed Hand saying hello, everyone. Then
hello,
Marissa says, hello, everyone. I mean, that's Scorpion Beauty. Who am I? Oh, no, Marissa. I'm there now, releasing so I can continue to heal. Scorpion Beauty says, hello, everyone. Stopping by to show love. Then you got the real Blessed Hand saying that's so true. Lady J19 is speaking to Blessed Hands. Maritza, hello, Blessed Hands, Scorpion Beauty. Hi, Maritza from Scorpion Beauty. Lady J, she's saying 100%. And Blessed Hands, it becomes a repeated cycle.
Yes, exactly. That's all it is. Yep. It's going down from generation to generation in the family. You know, a repeated cycle. So somewhere down the line in that family, you want to break that cycle. And you don't always need your mom to break that cycle. Okay? Because if you already said you and your mom don't get along, this, that, and the third. So what you're going to do, you're going to break that cycle right then and there for yourself, for your children, and your upcoming family. You don't want to repeatedly to talk about it. You want to do something about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Screaming and yelling, it's just not going to. It's not going to get it.
Well, the parent doesn't break this. I mean, for the child, the parent doesn't break the cycle. That child, when they become an adult, they have to break that cycle. It's always the child that has to try to break the cycle, and it is a generational thing. Because that's all you learn. When you with your parents, you learn from your parents. So it definitely is a repeated cycle that has to be broken. So Lady J says, oh, Erica, okay, I know D, and she got a heart behind it. Lady J say, exactly, D. Yep.
Yeah, you want to break that cycle. You don't want to, you know, just like, you know, if your kid's father is have never been in their life, you know, you want to encourage your boys now to be a better father when they have children. Mm-hmm. You don't want to stand and teach your kids, oh, your father wasn't this, your father that, your father that. Because now, in his mind, oh, my father wasn't doing this, my father wasn't that. He might treat his kids the same way. So you want to sit down and have a conversation with your son, you know what I'm saying? So he can be a better father to his kids no matter what his father did to him. You know what I'm saying? You want to move on and do better things in life. You don't want to stay at the same cycle, and keep doing the same thing.
Exactly, best hands. I'm the child that broke the cycle. I agree. I'm also the child that's breaking that cycle.
Yes,
Yep.
you, you,
We
you
have
you
to
have to do that. You
Scorpion
have to do it.
Beauty, hi Linda, exactly. That's right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do it. And I see a lot of that's going on in life today. Oh, well, my mom, she's this, she's that. She never taught us nothing. We don't know anything. She never did nothing for us. So when are you going to get up and put your thinking cap on and be that woman that you can be and tell yourself, I want to be better than my mom. I want to be better. I want to get out here in society and I want to be productive. And I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get help because I don't want to treat people the way my mom treated people. I want to treat people better. That's what you want to do. You don't want to keep holding over your head. My mom didn't teach me this. My mom didn't teach me that. That's not what you want.
But most
Because
people when
right
they
now, what you're doing, you still holding on hurt because of what your mom said to you, did to you, didn't teach you. You holding on to that. But you want to break that cycle because you don't want to keep going on in life like that.
well, from my experience, a lot of people, well, I don't want to say a lot of people, the people that I've dealt with, when I hear them constantly saying, my mom did this, my dad did this, or somebody else did that, or somebody that has come from a toxic person who doesn't want to be accountable for their own actions. Because most people, when they, most people don't want to repeat the same things. Um, I know for myself personally, I didn't recognize some of the stuff I was doing was like exactly um, like my mother, or that my mother did this, or that, because I never said that. Um, but when I got older, I did realize that a lot of the habits I had came from my childhood, but I chose to be better.
And that's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
You're either
You
going to be
know,
better or you're going to stay in that same situation with that same mindset the rest of your life. Now, which choice do you rather make?
and see
Okay?
that goes back to our main theme of this page, and that's the narcissist versus empath. That
Right.
childhood trauma
I
can turn
choose
you
to be an
into an
empath.
empath or a narcissist. Um, and most of those narcissists that I have known are the ones who say, well, my mama did this and my mama did that, and I don't know how to do this. I heard a whole lot of that blame shifting from the toxic people who don't
Yeah.
even want to be helped. But
Yeah.
the
And,
people
and,
who
and a lot of
want to
people
get
don't want to
help,
be helped.
exactly, that's what I said. Yeah, exactly. The ones that don't want to be helped, they're the ones that's going to say that most of the time. And the people who don't realize they're saying it, when you talk to them and explain to them, well, look, what you saying as far as trying to be better and breaking that cycle, they're usually more successful with it because they actually want to change and break the cycle.
Yeah. And you got a lot of
Hmm.
people, they
So
just toxic. They just toxic. They don't want that help. They think that
exactly.
toxic that they got, it's going to make them better in life and they're going to succeed in life. No, you're never going to succeed in life because you're so bitter. When you see a person that's yelling and screaming all the time, every day, they are bitter with something. And it goes back to their childhood,
Yep.
okay? Because you're screaming, you're bitter. I mean, this is going on every day in your life. Something is not right. And it goes back to how you was brought up in the household, you know? So
So
you got a lot of people out here, they just don't want their help at all. This is the way they want to stay. They want to stay toxic. You know what I'm saying? They want to stay this way. This way make them feel good. This makes them feel like this is the best way they can perform in life. This is the best way people will hear them. This is the best way people will understand them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
very angry. They angry. They're just angry people.
So the real blessed hand says it's a lot of people making excuses. Lady J
Absolutely.
says exactly, Erica. Linda says exactly, back in the day my kids would say, Mom, you did it. Then we got Lady J saying my mother and daddy was together for 42 years until my mom died. We stayed
Lady
in the
J, you
same
talking to me
home
again? You
since
talking to
my
me
birth.
again? My mom and dad was
Then
married for 45 years. My dad died, and we all stayed in the same house. And it's 8 siblings, and it was all by my dad.
then we have Blessed Hand, the real Blessed Hand saying hit the like button. Thank you, Blessed
Thank
Hands.
you, blessed hands.
And then we have Blessed Hands saying they be angry.
Absolutely. They be
Yeah.
angry.
But you know what, D? That's right. You got a lot of people out here yelling and screaming and all of that stuff. Toxic people. You know, that's why I think in one live we were talking about how people use that word narcissist loosely. A lot of people are not narcissists. They have those narcissist traits.
Right.
But you're right. You got a lot of
Absolutely.
people out here with that toxic stuff going on, yelling and screaming, and it's spilling over to their children. And then our children get older and they yelling. You know, I actually have a thing now. If you yell at me, that's the only thing that can really push me off kilter. If you start yelling at me, I hate for somebody to start yelling at me. It's not because I can't take it. It pushes my button. It makes me react. It provokes me. Because people don't have to be standing there yelling and yelling and yelling and yelling. There's different ways to communicate besides yelling. Then I think some of it
Yes,
is
Lady J, we
also,
sure do.
I think also, the that um I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, D. I told you cut across my, I can't remember what I'm saying.
Sorry, sweetie.
It's all right. Yeah, I don't think it was that important anyway. I was listening to you tell uh Lady J y'all had a lot in common. Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, we meet people like that online. I mean, on these YouTube streets, a lot of people, we end up finding out that a lot of us have a whole lot of stuff in common.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that's the reason why some of us can mesh and learn from each other because we have so many things in common. Lady J say, I can't hear when they do at Erica. I know you can't hear somebody when they screaming and yelling, and it make you not want to hear them too. You know?
Yeah, because my nerves can't take all that yelling and screaming. I can't take it. I just leave it alone. I'll talk to you later when you calm down. Or either if I'm in
Hmm.
your presence, I would definitely walk away from you because I cannot deal with all that yelling and screaming. It's just too much because what you're proving, you're not
You
getting
proving
nothing
nothing.
across by yelling.
Mm-mm. And then I think too, D, that it bothers us too because that narcissistic thing. I don't know why they feel like they gotta be yelling and screaming to the top of their lungs, like that's the only way you can hear them, except to put fear in us. I think that's why they start screaming and yelling at us. But it don't put fear in me. It makes me mad. Like stop screaming at me. You know.
Right.
Um. Let's see. The real blessed hand said, "Me too, Eric. I don't like people yell at me either." Uh. Pumpkin. Who is Pumpkin? Hello, Pumpkin. I don't know who Pumpkin is, but hello.
Hello.
Um, Pumpkin says, hello, ladies. I'm new. No More Drama just introduced me to the channel. I have been listening with her and really enjoyed it. I will be joining other channels that she spoke about. Well, that's great, Pumpkin. Thank you
Oh,
for
thank you. And thank you,
sitting
No
in
More
and listening
Drama.
to her. D and I we came together. Of course, it had to be ordained by God because we never came across each other except these YouTube pages, streets. We found out we had a whole lot in common. Um, we have the same type of characteristics, however, still different personalities where we complement each other. She can come from one angle, I can come from the other, but it all meshes and makes sense, and we learn from each other because of our different um, personality and experiences. D is more authoritative. She gonna get her point across. She gonna say it, and you know, It's like, listen, I'm trying to help you, you know, sit back, put on your seatbelt because I'm gonna take you for a ride. And I'm the type of person, I'm the same way, but I'm a little bit more laid back and reserved with it. But whatever I lack in, D fills that void, and whatever she lacks in, I feeling her voice, and we hoping that we can be a great team, um, help a lot of women and just people in general. And while I'm gonna speak for myself on this, while we're on here on these lives, I'm learning myself. I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm counseling myself or giving myself therapy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's a little bit about us, Pumpkin. And thank you for joining once again. Um,
Yeah, and what you just said, Erica, I'm glad you brought that up. When people be saying, "Oh, he's a narcissist, she's a narcissist." Don't call people a narcissist because everybody is not a narcissist because they exhibit behavior. They can
that's right.
have the traits of it. You have to
That's right.
really know what a narcissist is. Me and Erica, we really like we know. Like some people
Hmm.
can have the traits of it. That's the traits mean some behavior. That doesn't make them a narcissist.
That's right. Because if you think about it, the all of us have a narcissistic
Traits of a
traits,
narcissist. That's
and
right.
the most prevalent trait of a narcissist is point blank selfishness. And all of us can be selfish at certain points in time. We just don't take it overboard and totally forget everybody and make ourselves the center of attention in the whole world, where a narcissist does, to the point where they
Right.
could care less about any other human being walking on this planet. You
Because
know,
some people like to throw it out there. Oh, she's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. No, everybody is not. We all have some narcissist
traits. That's right.
tendencies, traits in us. We
Hmm.
all do. That does not make you a narcissist. Now, I know a narcissist. Believe me, I know. I know him. I can point them out real quick.
Yeah, when you've dealt with them before, you can be around them for, I don't know, a minute, probably less than that,
Yes,
and figure out you're dealing with a narcissist.
right. And
Hmm.
because they do. We'll get into that another day. But I mean, they say so much, they do so much, they'll win you in a second. Before
Sure
you
will.
know, honey, they done took control of your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit, and everything.
Everything. And then
Everything.
that's why later on
Everything they take up, it
that's
don't
why later
belong to
on
you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Your
Go ahead,
mind
D.
don't belong to you no more. Your mind and your soul and everything belongs to them. Because they done took over you in a split second. You don't even know.
That's right. You know, that's why you find yourself later on. I don't know how many of y'all go through these ladies and what kind of relationships you're in. But if you find yourself sitting down sometime wondering how in the world you get here and where are you, what happened to you, and you feel like you don't know yourself anymore, you just might be involved with a narcissist who's totally robbed you of yourself. They steal from you, they suck you, they like a vampire, they take everything away from you to the point where you don't know yourself anymore. I know that's what I experienced, and I think Dee experienced the same thing.
Yep,
But we didn't realize we
absolutely.
were so lost until we got out of it. We didn't realize how lost we were. Then when we sat back and started coming back to ourselves, that's when we realized we were really lost. This person really had us lost, like lost. Let's read some more comments, D. Um,
Hmm.
Bless Hand said, "Me too. I was with one for 6 years." Well, bless you, bless Hands, and I'm glad you got out of it. That's another
Yes,
victory right there.
absolutely.
Then we got Lady 19. She said, "I enjoy everyone. Thanks for everyone. Thank you, Lady J, if you're still here."
Thank you, Lady J, for
And
joining.
I might have skipped some. If I did, I apologize.
No, I think you got most of all of them. I think you did.
And then we got one more that, oh, Blessed Hands agreed with us. She said, yes, they suck you dry. She's just finding herself. Don't worry, Blessed Hands. I might sound like I found myself, but I'm still getting myself back. I'm still getting it back.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it takes, but I'm still getting myself back by the grace of God.
yeah, they will suck everything out of you. It's like,
They're
well, this is where
parasite.
I felt. I felt like I was just cut, stabbed all in my back, and everything in me was just gone. I was just left for dead. Like I had nothing left in me. Nothing. It's like he just ripped me apart. You know,
Hmm.
I couldn't even think straight. I couldn't do nothing. Nothing. So
Ain't that
yeah, they will
amazing
leave you
though,
like that.
D? That's
Huh?
amazing how it's amazing how you it's almost like you a puppet, like you just empty. It's literally they literally suck everything out of you and try to take on those characteristics that you have on them for themselves while they leaving you almost like they are an empty shell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing how a person can do that to you. That's
And you know
amazing.
what? It don't even have to be in a relationship. It can be your mom a
It
narcissist,
surely
your
can.
dad. It can be a friend around you.
Co-workers.
It can be a co-worker. It can be a neighbor. So you just have to know how to identify when you see it. And a lot
A
of people don't
narcissist,
because they
right?
don't know about narcissists, so they won't know how to identify. But me, I'll spot you a mile away. I can promise you that.
That's right.
They make you believe everything they
Hmm.
say, and it's for anybody. They'll have you so close to them, they'll have you so blind. Everything they say, you gonna stick by their side. You gonna believe it. So you done jumped on their bandwagon, baby. They know they got you on that bandwagon, and they know you ain't going nowhere because you believe everything they say, and they're gonna keep bringing it and pumping it and pumping it and pumping it into you because they
And
know
even
you're
if you
not
don't,
going nowhere.
and then they have a way of when you don't believe what they saying, they still can convince you what they saying is right, even though you
Yeah, they'll
know it's
come out with something
wrong.
else.
Yeah.
They'll come up with something else. Oh,
Yeah.
you know that, and you'll be like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, you right, you right. You gonna start agreeing with them, and every time they come up with something different, and you agree with them, they know they even got you more and more and more and more. They know they got you.
Yep. And that's another reason why D and I decided to do this topic about um should you stay or should you go, recognizing if you are contributing to the fact that um you are the recipient of toxicity, um because we recognized it, but we stayed around
Yeah.
instead of us going. We stayed. And I know I asked myself plenty times, man, should I stay, man? Should I
Thank you, no
go?
more drama, for tuning in. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank
And
you, no
yeah,
more
bless
drama.
hands. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You gotta be careful. And this is not only for dealing with a man. This dealing with a female
People,
friend or
period.
any female that's close to
Hmm.
you. Period. Like, be careful trying to jump on their bandwagon. They know how to keep you by their side. They know. They
They
know. They
know.
know what they're doing, and they know what to say. They know.
Yeah. After all those, after studying you, yeah, they know exactly. They know you almost better than you know yourself.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So just be careful.
Yep. Well, ladies, you got anything else you want to say, D? Because I had that long day at work.
No,
I'm about ready to start winding down.
no,
Um,
I'm good. But after the live, ladies, if y'all can leave like a comment in the comment section and say like how y'all enjoyed the live and what y'all got out of the live, we'll appreciate the comments.
oh, thank you, blessed hands, real blessed hands. She said she just shared us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it, blessed hands.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. I appreciate everybody.
we would appreciate some feedback. I mean, you don't have to say anything or a long paragraph.
Yeah.
Just some feedback. I mean, maybe y'all got some things y'all want us to talk about, or I don't know. We just, feedback is important. It helps us to um know how we can help, or how we can entertain, or whatever.
Or if y'all got a topic y'all want us to talk about, we can talk about it. Or if y'all going through something small, like with a friend or something, you want to ask questions about it. We open for it all. Doesn't matter. You don't
Yeah.
have to say the person name or none of that. You don't have to do any of that. You can just ask us like, what do we feel about it? What do we think about it? How you think that you can handle this situation, to make it better or whatever, we forward.
Lake Lakin just joined. She says, "Hey, ladies in chat." Hello, Lakin.
Hi, Lakin, how are you?
Yep.
Yep, fall.
Yep. So we all here for really for each other, you know. Maybe one day y'all will join the panel and three, four of us can politic, if that's what you want to call it.
Yep, that would be nice.
Cause we can learn from each other. You know.
Absolutely. We can. We can learn from each other. There's nothing wrong with that. We're never too old to learn from each other.
So we appreciate you ladies for joining. You got anything else you want to say, D?
Nope, I just want to say thank you ladies for joining. I really appreciate y'all tonight.
Yes, thank you all for joining. I wish when yeah, it's okay. Lakin, I know you just joined, but we're about to log off now. Thank you for coming back.
Lincoln, you can watch the replay.
The replay, yeah. We talked about some interesting things. Two different perspectives. But they all mesh, come together, and I think you'll enjoy it if you watch the replay. I gotta sign off now because I'm working all week like that, 13, 14-hour days. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, because Blessed Hands going live, I think at 9. So I'm gonna tune in on her live because I think she's going live at 9.
And I don't know how long you're gonna be on Blessed Hands, but if I do wake up, because sometimes I take a little cat nap and I wake back up, I'll join in and check you out. So until next time, ladies, we hope you enjoyed the discussion and some advice. And I guess we'll tune in next time.
Everybody have a good night and be blessed.
All right now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.